Was the day after Christmas. Oh, that's a little too bright. He's too bright. Peter is too bright. There we go. It was the day after Christmas, and Peter had already finished one page. 1, 2, 3, 4 more pages to go. I'm getting ahead with Brillig. Um, Exciting times. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. This one. Exciting times when you can get ahead and actually sort of get some work done. And one of my problems is I don't like how thick this, actually I don't have any problem with how thick it is. That's how thin the other lines are. That looks okay. So this story has taken off. It's been something I've been thinking about a lot. And when I say it's taken off, it's like, my motivation to do it. And, once you get your motivation set, let's call this pencils, you can get your pages kind of down. This will be ink. I may only get this first panel done. This is Brillig fighting these monsters that were kind of based on the Volt from the first edition Fiend Folio. One of my favoriteest books. Oh, what's going on there? And I don't think I got this shape right because I'm looking at it. This is supposed to contain, it's like a scroll kind of. I better be on the right layer. So let's warp. That's much better. Bring back, we're going to call this ink. Ink. You can have multiple ink layers, of course. I'm very inspired by, obviously it's an homage to Barbarian comics, which I've done a little bit already with Starlock. But we're going to go further, even further. With Brillig. Because it's not just a Barbarian epic. It's also a Alice in Wonderland homage. Brillig, in fact, is named after the character from the Jabberwock. And my volts I've renamed to Slithy Toes. Just like in the beginning of Jabberwock. I don't know exactly what it is that motivated me on this. It just seemed like a cool idea at the time. I've been rereading the actual Alice in Wonderland, which is not what it um, is portrayed to be in Disney, really. I mean, there are scenes that are completely different. There's dialogue that's missing. I think in general Disney did capture it pretty well, though they don't get how clever the Alice character is and self-aware she is. They make her like an innocent, like, oh, I don't know what's happening to me. And in the book, in Alice in Wonderland, it's almost like she's a willing participant in the nonsense. She goes right along with things. She's, you know, like her imagination is just as much a part of the fun as all of the strange creatures that she encounters. Which is why she does so well. Now there is a character. There is like I did minimal character design on this. um, Volt is a shirtless barbarian who wears a loincloth and he has like boots and um, forearm guards. But I do want to make a really sexy Cheshire Cat character. Just have to figure out how to do it. Because remember, there's no Alice. This is kind of like Brillig in Wonderland. And I've got all these plans. Like I was thinking, oh, he's gonna have to fight the Jub Jub bird and the Frumious Bandersnatch and all that other stuff. Um, it's gonna be really cool. So let's see what we got so far. I had initially done 4 pages, and then I realized that I needed a new page 2 that explains the transition between my original page 2 and page 1. I mean, actually, no, my original page, a new page 3. This is page 2. This is page 2. So I drew a new page 3 and slotted right in. It looks great. I didn't lose any pages. I just had to add a page. And once again, I like to say I know my drawing isn't the best, but I feel like it's stronger than ever. Like I surprise myself these days when I go, "Oh, who did that? You did that? I did that." That's cool. It makes me happy. It's one of those things. It's like, oh yeah. Like I said, I know it's not so super impressive, but it is a heck of a lot of fun. Ooh, I don't know if I did that right. Let's take a look. I think it looks okay. Basically, I'm using the negative space in the feathering. Oops. Bring back your pencils. I'm hoping that this is the problem, is that when you're trying to recapture something you did in pencil, even if you perfect it, you'll lose all the energy of the original art. So it helps if you improvise a little bit. One of my weak areas is definitely hair. Oh my god, I have such trouble with that. But all we gotta do, all we gotta do is one panel today. And if we do more later on, that's good. That's good. Oops. Um, it's hard to get the barbarian facial expression. We want them to show um, effort, but without showing fear. And it's easy to just put in a rage look, but it's the monster doesn't look scary, so you have to make it look a little bit scary. Oof, almost there. All right, let's take a look. That's looking good. That's a good start. All right. The more I look at this, I see some problems with the horns. So, well, so let's fix the problem because I can't do it with the pencil layer on because it's distracting. And what is the problem exactly? Well, the problem is these contour lines that kind of wrap around. First of all, in the original drawing, the Fiendful drawing, they definitely show them to be irregular, which is a cool effect. I mean, I don't feel too constrained by the original. I've already changed the jaw and other parts of it to make it more of an original monster. But one of the benefits of having that irregular line is that it can show the three-dimensionality of the horns a little bit better. Now, here's question time. Do I leave the horns in front of the thing? I think I can. I think it doesn't hurt it that much. And it makes it seem a little bit more fun, a little bit more 3D. Normally, I'm against things like breaking panel borders and stuff like that. I think if I had a Marvel editor from the 70s, I might be told, "Hey, maybe not." But I'm gonna run it for a while, see how I like it, and if I like it, I like it. Okay, I like it, Picasso. Okay, Picasso, I like it. What does he say? Also, really getting into this cross hatching. If you saw when I did the logo, I've attempted that style of lettering, that logo cross hatching, because it comes from, oh, I can't remember what it's called, Midnight Pizza Run or something like that. It comes from a font that's associated with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But there's nothing to it that's that mysterious. It's block lettering, but it has these um, hatching marks on it. So I tried to read instead of using the font, you know, I deformed the letters and then I did the hatching on my own. Like I did it from scratch. And it came out great. And so I'm thinking, oh, that's like a whole technique I could be using. All right. If you don't get out of your wheelhouse sometimes, you never learn anything. And even from the very beginning, when I was first starting to do stuff like Rabbit Fighter, um, my original Rabbit Fighter, I was telling people, like, you know, I know that this comic is not that great, but when I get to 10 comics, you know, by then I'll be good. And my comics back then were 8 pages long, you know, and then by the time I got to 10 pages, I'm like, you know what I should do is I should do 12-page comics. So I did Isolde as 12 pagers, and I really put more extra work into them, and they came out better. Now, of course, when I look back at the original run of Isolde, it's embarrassing. It's not that great. But when I finished Isolde, I was like, you know what I should do is I should learn how to do composition, and that's when I started to do the Qbert classes online, which are awesome. And I can't remember what I was working on at the time. Isolde was done, and I think I was on the Rabbit Fighter version from um, the first anthology. There we go. By the way, same deal. There's irregular contour lines on the tail, just like on the horns. And once again, my pencil lines are getting in the way, but I think that's good. I think that works. Just got a tweet about Broken Legions, which I don't play. I don't know it. Um, I was looking up costume designs for um, a 17th century footman, which is kind of like a servant. They wear like a waistcoat and a powdered wig and everything like that. There's a footman, a fish footman, and a frog footman. LOL. Um, in Alice in Wonderland, and I was going to put them in there at the gate. They are not in any of the pages I've drawn yet, so I was still like looking up costumes. I'm gonna have to do a lot of costume design for this, I can already tell. And I thought, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to do at least the fish foot. I should do both the frog and the fish footman, and have them standing in front of the door to quote unquote Wonderland. I'm thinking about using a different name other than Wonderland. It's going to be implied, but maybe never directly stated. I don't know. I mean, I've named the character Brillig, and I've named these monsters Slithy Toes. I'm hoping that you know people are just clever enough to get it, and if not, it's kind of on them, right? All right. one of the secrets to Brillig's hair that I'm trying to draw right now is that it's always blown back. It's never like Conan's hair. Conan the Barbarian, he basically had the same hairstyle as all four Ramones. It was just he basically looked like Johnny Ramone to me. Um, Eventually, Dee Dee, you know, got a different hairstyle and so on. But they were different guys, obviously. But you can't really tell with Brillig for a long time because he's falling, so his hair is always going to be kind of in the wind. I need to really study my anatomy to get his, because his back muscles, those are hard to draw. I think I have a couple of scenes where I have them from the back. Some triceps. Ah. Anyway, so rather than go straight Conan, um, and also part of Brillig's thing, I mean, it's cliche to say he's a dumb barbarian. He is a dumb barbarian, but he's kind of like not so dumb sometimes. What's the other cliche that the barbarian is dumb but cunning? And that's there's going to be some of that, I think. Brillig is definitely cunning. Also, I have him running around in a loincloth and boots right now, but he's going to get real clothes. The problem is he's been dumped into this thing called the nightmare void. And of course, what's adjacent to nightmares? Well, dreams, right? So the idea here is that um, the nightmare void is adjacent to Wonderland. Wonderland is a dreamland. And he keeps getting dumped into it as like a punishment from the gods. In fact, one specific god, it'll be shown in a flashback eventually, that he's robbed a forgotten god. Like, um, it's literally going to be the god of the dodo birds, right? And the dodo birds are extinct, even in this fantasy world. Presumably, they wouldn't be extinct until the 18th century, but um, um, this god has been forgotten, extinct. All of its followers have died out. And it just has this forgotten temple that, of course, gets raided by Brillig along with four dumb companions. It's got to be the four dumbest adventurers ever. And one by one, they all get killed except for Brillig. And Brillig should die because the the only reason he doesn't die is either dumb luck or um, he's just too tough to die. That's his tagline: "Too tough to die." Right? Another Ramones reference. And what happens is he gets cursed and becomes this were dodo, which I've already mentioned, lycanthropic dodo. Um, but it won't be clear that that's what's going on for a while. In fact, it may not even be even in this first issue. I think it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna be built into the um, origin story, obviously. But you don't start with an origin story if you don't want to, and I don't think I want to. The other idea I had, and I think this will be cool. Well, I've got to design the whole, the dodo look, the look of the dodo lycanthrope thing. He's got to get cornered at some point and transform into the dodo, and then eventually, and if this is following my D&D roots here, um, there's no ruler being used here, by the way. You can tell. Ah, um, where was I going with this story? Oh, he'll get the ability to summon these dodo guardians. Like the dodo god eventually is going to find out that Brillig's his only true supporter. Like Brillig actually comes to respect and appreciate the dodo god and is the only supporter. So the dodo god starts to give him some other powers, and it's a curse, but there's other parts to it. I know it's a bizarre character. Well, the world's made for bizarre characters. Who in the world said you had to have a character? Imagine this: a super powered sailor who gets his powers from eating spinach. That's weird, right? And he talks like a weird, you know, I don't know how to describe what Popeye talks like. Well, anyways, what I'm saying is the world of comics is so open to weirdness. Like it's wide open. You can have anything. All right. Originally, I had the hair going all the way back here. Let's take a look at this panel. I think we're getting somewhere. I think that might be it. That's only 28 minutes. All right, I'm gonna continue to detail this out. All right. I think we're on a roll. I think we're there. Okay, let's do this speech bubble. All right. What do you think? Am I on the road? I think I'm on the road. That's the wrong one. I was watching a little bit of uh, a video of Ann Lee and John Buscema from How to Draw Comics, and they were showing off how to ink with a pen. And Stan Lee was saying, don't just use a pen. I mean, don't use a brush, because if you just use a pen, it'll be kind of lifeless. And it's like, wow, he is so right. I use the Gasinki ink brush because it is more like a brush, because you can do, thick to thin really easily. It's very brush-like. It's also a very unpredictable like a brush. So you got to train yourself to. All right. I think that is a start for a first panel. All right. Please like, follow, and subscribe. All of these pages are going to get posted over to Instagram as I finish them. It doesn't take that long, but it'll take longer than a day. But it won't take that long. It'll take probably a couple days for me to finish this one. Let me bring back my pencils. You can see there's page 2, there's page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5 are all ready to go. I'm gonna keep drawing, and we'll have a full epic story going on. This one is going to be fun and funny, and I look forward to you checking it out. Talk to you later.